be plenty of time for questions. You can either pop a question in the chat or you can come off mute later on and ask your question verbally. Great to see some people popping their names and details in the chat as well. Thank you very much. That's brilliant. My name is Claire. I'm the Networks and Event Officer here at Voluntary Norfolk. I am the person who sends all the nagging reminder emails. So hello, nice to see you all. My colleague Tasha is also on the call. She's doing all the lovely tech stuff today, so checking the chat, making sure that everybody's got access. And then it just remains for me to welcome Abigail from the Giving Machine, who is going to give us all a bit of information about the Giving Machine. So welcome, Abigail.
Thank you. Thank you both, Claire and Tasha. So I am going to be talking a bit about the Giving Machine. So my name is Abigail and I am the Business Development Manager at the Giving Machine. So if you do have any questions, like they said, please do pop them in the chat, or there will be plenty of time for questions at the end. It's not a very long presentation. I promise it's not going to be death by PowerPoint. So first, I'll show you the quick agenda. So here is our lovely agenda. I'll tell you a bit about who we are. I'll go into what we offer for not-for-profits, as well as looking at some testimonials, some statistics, and then I will give you some further details on that as well. So firstly, how did the Giving Machine come about? Well, we were founded in 2006 by 4 Hertfordshire dads. They all had pretty successful careers and they then wanted to use their skills in business for good, rather than just creating more profit for shareholders, essentially. So there are now 5 of us here at the Giving Machine. So that's not including the 4 pets that we do have listed as volunteers on our website, who are, of course, equally important. So that's the 4 original founders there, and we have since grown a bit since then. So what do we actually do? Well, in short, we provide new and innovative ways for all good causes to raise funds. So when I say all good causes, I mean schools, CICs, social enterprises, charities, animal sanctuaries, food banks, community groups, you name it. So long as you are a not-for-profit in the UK, you can join what we do. So let's have a look at what that actually is. How do we do this? So firstly, we have our Giving Lottery. So our Giving Lottery started in 2019, and it was created as a free way for all not-for-profits to raise funds. So like I said, so long as you're a not-for-profit in the UK, you can join, and it works essentially like a normal lottery would, except that the not-for-profit is getting 40% of each of their ticket sales, and the people who are playing the lottery can win up to £25,000 every week. So why does this actually work for not-for-profits? Well, so we know that, unfortunately, giving is becoming a bit more transactional, so people are less likely to give money to charities without getting something in return these days. So that is where something like the lottery comes in. So rather than asking your supporters for £5 a month, for example, because you are a charity or a not-for-profit and you need it, you're instead asking them to play the lottery for you to support you, and then they can win money in return. So they are getting something out of supporting you, essentially. And then, as you can see, there's no upfront costs or risks. So we handle all the reporting, the payments, and the prize fulfillment. So there really is not much that you need to do. And as I mentioned previously, 40% is going straight to the not-for-profit. So that is completely unrestricted, ready to use. You can spend it on whatever you like. And I will show you the associated, the breakdown of the associated costs in the next slide as well. So it's a new avenue for supporters to give to you, which means that you can actually engage some supporters who may not have donated to you previously. And then when we look at in terms of payments, they are sent every month. You don't have to ask us for that. We will send it to you automatically. And in terms of the players, although there are a few different options, most people are playing on a direct debit basis. So the average person on the Giving Lottery is buying 2 to 3 tickets a week, and they are playing for well over a year. The average is about 1 year and 8 months at the moment. So that means that if you do have a supporter base that you can market this to, it can actually become a reliable income, and you can actually then start to include it in your budgeting once you've got that steady supporter base. So we provide all of the promotional materials. I mean, you're of course welcome to make your own, but we do have some that are ready to just be shared, downloaded, whatever you want to do with them, especially if you're perhaps a smaller or volunteer-led organization, then this is obviously going to save you a lot of time. So why does it work? So it's low risk. It is not a dopamine-based form of gambling. So tickets have to be bought at least 24 hours before the draw takes place, or people just buy them in advance. So if it's on a direct debit basis, it will just come out automatically every month. So the Giving Lottery doesn't encourage the instant sort of dopamine-driven behavior that is associated with other forms of gambling and higher risk gambling. And although we have never had an issue, we do, of course, still have options available, such as self-exclusion and ticket limits. So also, because players tend to buy more than one ticket a week, you can be expected to make either about or over £1,000 a year once you get to 27 players on your lottery. It is much easier than asking people just to donate to you. And then also, because it runs under our license, you do not need to worry about getting your own license or doing any of the reporting. The only thing you need to do is to market it to your supporter base. So hopefully that all sounds a bit too good to be true. So don't just take our word for it. Here are some of our wonderful 700, we've got 730 causes as of today. So here's how some of them are doing. Schnauzer Fest joined us in 2021 and they've raised it's actually now over £35,000. One Kind joined us around the same time and they've raised just over £18,000. And then we have Newcastle Hospital Charity who joined us just a couple months ago and they are already on track to make over £5,000 in their first year. And then we've also got some really lovely testimonials from some more good causes here. So Utilise PLC, they are actually a business and they signed up to support the charity Kids Inspire. So that is an option with the Giving Lottery. So if you do know of any businesses that might support you and they might want to sell tickets to their staff, or if they have volunteers or customers, anything like that, that is definitely worth an ask because we do allow that on the Giving Lottery. And as you can see, both of these causes, they like that the platform is user-friendly, easy to use, not just for them, but also for the supporters, for the people who are playing. And also that it's not just a lottery and a chance for people to win money. It is about being part of something bigger. It's about building a giving community and supporting those like yourselves listening to this who are doing really vital, amazing work and helping to distribute the funds to those of you that just do not have millions in the bank, which is most not-for-profits. So now we're going to move on to our wonderful new community grants. So these are open to all not-for-profits that are under £1 million turnover and are within the UK. So they're available every quarter and the next applications will open on the 1st of January. So they'll be open for the whole of January. It's a really quick, easy application, so it should only take you 15-20 minutes. And so long as you make an application between the beginning and the end of January, it will be entered. So we have 8 of them available. They're £250 each. And although they are small, they are completely unrestricted. So you can spend them on absolutely anything, whether it is just to pay a bill or to pay a salary, whatever it is, we really don't mind. So make sure the applications are submitted between the first and the last of the month to be eligible, and then the successful causes will be notified within 14 days of the application period ending. So from the end of January, it'll be within 2 weeks, you'll be notified, and then it'll be within 10 days after that that you will actually receive the funds. So it's quite a nice, quick turnaround. And the grant winners are chosen completely at random. So you have just as much chance of getting one as anybody else who has applied. But we do distribute them across a diverse range of sectors. So there's not going to be one single sector that is overrepresented. And here are some of our previous grant winners and then what they've used the money for. So we have had a PFTA, Refugee Action Kingston and the Barn Elm Sports Trust. So the PFTA used theirs to help keep the school trip costs down for the parents. Refugee Action Kingston used theirs to provide some emergency hardship grants. and then Barn Elms Sports Trust use theirs to get 160 new people trying out sports for free, which is wonderful. So you really can use it for whatever you want. And here are some of our most recent impact statistics to show you, just so you know sort of what we're doing. So overall, we've raised over £2 million for charities. We have supported more than 10,000 causes, over 130,000 amazing supporters, and over 2,000 wonderful caring businesses. And that is the end of the presentation. Told you it would be quick. So here are my contact details. If anybody does have any questions that they want to direct straight to me, or if you want to have a further chat about anything, I'm more than happy to have a one-on-one meeting if anybody has any further questions or needs anything. And then I will just quickly show you the web addresses as well. So here is the web address for the lottery and for the grants. They're both on our website, so if you just go to thegivingmachine.co.uk, you will find all of this, and you're more than welcome to let me or the guys over at Voluntary Norfolk let us know. I'm more than happy to send the presentation as well. And that is that. So I will have a look at the chat and see if there's any questions, but otherwise I hope you've learned some stuff. Oh, sorry, go on.
There was a question about sharing the presentation, Abigail. So if you're able to get that over to me and I can get that out to everyone, that would be brilliant. Thank you. I'll see if there's any other questions coming in now. Thank you. Quite a variety of different causes that have taken up the giving machine. We really have got a complete range, all the way from tiny volunteer, like Snauserfest, one of the ones that's raised the most amount of money with us. They are very, very small volunteer-led organisations. So don't think that you need to be a big organisation to make money with us, because there's lots of different ways that you can, especially with the lottery, that you can sort of advertise and get that supporter base. So it really is just trying and seeing what works for you. So there is a question in the chat, Abigail, and I can see there's a couple of other people typing. Can you access the chat, or did you want me to read it to you? If you could read it, because I think as soon as I click on it, I think it stops sharing things. So the first question from Jake is, do charities have to be part of the lottery in order to apply for the community grants? Good question. No, you don't. You can apply for the grants without applying for the lottery, and vice versa. You can do both. You can do one. You can do whatever you like. Brilliant. There's a couple of other people typing, but there's nothing come through as yet. So, somebody's saying thank you from Norfolk Neighbourhood Watch Network. So that's always nice to get a thank you. Yeah. If there are any other questions, as Abigail said, you're welcome to put them in the chat or come off mic, mute and ask them. It's quite a small group, so maybe not as intimidating as a massive group. Equally, if you think of something afterwards, you've got Abigail's details there. Yeah. Oh goodness, there's a couple now. Hang on. This is brilliant. I'm the chair of Greening Wyndham. How much are lottery tickets? Good question. Lottery tickets are £1 each. Okay, that was quite a good question to get answered quite quickly there from Andrew. Thank you. And then Louise says, is there a minimum number of lottery entries you have to gain to start this up? No, not at all. We're on hand to help. So obviously we want you to raise as much as possible. And if you want that help from us, we will help you. But ultimately, it's completely down to you. You can talk about it as much or as little as you want. And there's no sort of tie-in with us. So if you try it and you feel like it doesn't work and you don't want to be with us anymore, that's absolutely fine. If you only sell a couple tickets, again, absolutely fine. You will get the payments every month, regardless of how much you're making, how many supporters you have. But of course, we're on hand to help regardless. So there's some more come in. So Gemma has asked, I'd be interested to know if charities have been able to engage new supporters through the lottery. We are a small charity with a small supporter base.
Okay. Yes. So it really depends on the charity, but we have seen that quite a lot of them have been able to engage some new supporters. And I think it's sort of targeting those people who perhaps want to give to charity, but maybe don't feel they have the funds, or they just feel like, oh, £5 a month is a lot to not get anything in return. But when they look at something like a lottery and they go, oh, I could get something in return, it sort of changes the narrative a bit. So yes, we have seen quite a few people, quite a few charities who have got new supporters via the lottery.
And then there's one here from Jake. Is the Giving Machine a charity, CIC, not for profit? You noted that 40% of each ticket sale goes to the cause. Presumably some of the remaining 60% goes to lottery wins. Could you clarify how much and how much goes to the Giving Machine and whether that's for operating costs or profit?
Yes, of course. So we are a charity. So yeah, the way it works is 40%. So essentially, if you think of it in ticket terms, of that £1 ticket, 40p is going direct to the not-for-profit or the good cause. 20p comes to us as a charity, which is why we're able to offer it for free. And it also then goes into our grants. And then the rest is going into the actual prize fund, the monetary prize fund, and the operating costs to the external lottery manager.
And then there's one more here. This is great. Sometimes when you ask for questions, absolutely nothing comes. So thank you everybody for popping the questions in. Cheryl asks, we have a link to a local lottery similar to your model. Are there any specific benefits we might gain by setting up a lottery with you?
So the local lotteries and our lottery, they are quite similar. I would say the main benefit, I mean, it does depend on your local lottery, but what we have seen with some of the other local lotteries, and we ourselves have actually taken over quite a few local lotteries, because unfortunately they don't tend to have the time or resources to dedicate to the causes on the lottery, whereas because we're a charity and this is our whole sort of job is helping you guys, we do have the time and the resources to commit to you if you need that help. So it's not just a case of you join, off you go, you're on your own. You can come to us if you have any questions, if you need any help, even if you want us to help create some marketing materials, anything like that. We're here. So it's more of like, I like to say a little family, but yeah, I would say that's the main thing is you've got us on hand should you need us.
And I think we've got a hand up from Andrew, it looks like.
Yes, thank you. I thought I'd speak rather than typing. It's always
Nice.
nice. Yeah, in terms of like marketing, the Giving Lottery, what kind of social media platform do you find that works the best for engaging with yeah, for selling the tickets? Is it kind of TikTok? Is it Facebook? Is it, or is it through your website? How does that best work?
Yeah, so I would say from what I've seen, it tends to be either Facebook or Instagram in terms of social media. But having said that, there are a lot of charities with us and not for profits who don't have social media, and that is not their main way that they get tickets. So don't feel like you need to have a big social media following to sell tickets. I mean, we've got like some bowls clubs and sports clubs and things like that where they kind of rely on the people that they see face to face and just telling people about it, and they still make a really good income that way. Or we also have some causes who have some fundraising events, or that sort of in-person events, and they then might use the lottery as ticketing for that event. So they might only use it for that 1 month a year, which you're more than welcome to do, and they just use it as buy a lottery ticket, that's your ticket for the event, and they use it that way. So it's really up to you sort of how you want to use it and where you want to use it. But I would just say it's worth trying all the different avenues that you have available to you, because you might think, oh, I'll get loads on Instagram or something, and then actually you don't, and then you try Facebook, which you think doesn't work, and you get loads of supporters. So it really does depend. But I think the vast majority, I would say Facebook seems to work best for whatever reason.
And just following on from that, if I may,
Of course.
so we've got loads of postcards we've created with a QR code that takes people to our website. Now, I suppose if we give that out to someone, and is there a way to then have something on our website that either directs people to it or that is a kind of landing page? How does that work? Is that
Yeah,
possible?
Yeah, of course, absolutely. So in the marketing materials that you get when you sign up, one of the things that you do get is a personal QR code. So you're more than welcome to copy that, paste it wherever you like. You can you'll get a personal link as well, which then if people click that, that goes straight to your lottery page. So you're more than welcome to put any of those things or any of our marketing materials wherever you like, whether it is a website, newsletter, social media. And if you do need us to sort of help you with anything or help create a marketing material, we're on hand to do that as well.
Wonderful.
So
Thank you.
thank you. Tasha, my colleague, has her hand up, and there's also another question in the chat, which is,
Okay.
is there a way for supporters to set up a direct debit to buy regular tickets? Maybe you could answer that one first and then go to Tasha.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So most people will set up a direct debit. So they have a few different options. They can either do a one-off, which when they have to do a minimum of £5, and that gets them into the next month's lottery draws. But I would say a solid probably 90% of people will just do a direct debit and they'll just cancel it whenever they want. So yes, that is an option, and most people will choose that option. They do also have the option to do sort of a set like 6 months or a set, I think it's 10 months, but not many people do that. It's usually either the one-off £5 or the direct debit, and the direct debit is definitely more popular of an option.
Thank you. Shall we go to Tasha with her hand up?
Yeah.
Hello. I've just had a couple of thoughts, and I think we've had some great questions, which got me thinking about it. I wondered if you had an example that you could share on the screen, maybe of the marketing kind of assets that you send out, or of what a supporter page looks like, maybe, because I think that would kind of help to sort of picture that supporter journey. I guess that's what I'm thinking is what would the supporter be?
The only thing is, if I show you, I don't think I can show an example actually, because it will have the details on there. So it would have their email and their number. So actually, I don't think I can do that. But I could show you some marketing materials. So if I just stop sharing
that'd be
for a
great.
second.
Thank you.
And then
Sorry to ask an awkward question.
No, that's okay.
And there's another question in the chat afterwards as well. Abigail.
Okay, exciting. Okay, let me find some. I'll answer if you tell me the question, and then I can.
Yep. So Jake says, this is really helpful. Sorry, I don't mean to keep asking awkward questions, but I wondered if you have experience of multiple charities starting the lottery in the same area at the same time. I can easily see this as being a fantastic alternative approach, but wonder about supporter fatigue if everyone is doing it. And then there's a hand up after that as well. So I'll get there after when you've answered that one.
That is a very good question. That's not something I've had experience of. I think that's a really good question, actually, because we do have a lot of causes with us now. We've got 730. But I don't know if there's ever been cases of supporter fatigue. I mean, we've got quite a few, especially sort of in the more, like London or the more built up areas. We do have quite a lot of causes with us in those areas, and they're all doing well. So I would like to think it's not a huge issue, because I think the main thing is that a lot of these supporters are going to be coming from your supporter base that you already have, if that makes sense. So they may well already follow you on Facebook or already follow you on Instagram or already part of your newsletter. So I think the chances of them being sort of involved in your not-for-profit and then also following another not-for-profit in the same area and potentially seeing them with the lottery is reasonably slim. I'm sure it has happened, but it's certainly not something I've seen before, so I wouldn't say it's an issue. That's probably a bit of a rubbish answer, but there you go.
Well, no, Jake has put a comment in to say it. Oh, sorry, Jake, I'll let you speak for yourself.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say. I mean, I think it's a great answer. It was more, if there were evidence, then that would be useful to know, because I'll take this to my trustees and we'll discuss it, and we'll discuss the pros and cons of it, because the obvious upside is if it increases engagement, that's fantastic. But if it takes £1 that would have been donated and does it that way instead, then the charity only gets 40p. So that's no, that's really helpful. Thanks.
Oh, good. Thank you.
And Joe has a hand up.
Okay.
Hopefully, Joe, you can come off mute. Oh no, the hand has gone down. Maybe it's been answered by one of the other answers. So loads of really helpful questions there.
Yes.
Oh, have you been able to pop something extra up? I've noticed.
So these are the ones on our website, because I unfortunately can't show you the ones on someone else's profile. So there's more than just these ones. These are just our new ones. But we do have, so when you join us and you have your login, you will have a few different other ones, but these are the sort of general ones that we've made in the last couple months. So you can share them on Facebook, like we've got a Facebook specific one, and then this one is best for Instagram, and then this one is sort of a generic one, and it will take you to our Canva page as well. So you can, so this is why we've got the add your logo here bit, because so long as you've got your logo somewhere saved, you can just pop that on and then just share it. And obviously we've got the little spaces here to add the link, but on the actual Giving Lottery, so this is obviously just our Giving Machine website, but on the actual Giving Lottery, if you signed up, then that would all be done automatically. So these are just sort of the extras for if you were perhaps a bit bored of the ones that you'd already used or something like that. So they're similar to this. Hopefully that helps anyway.
That's really helpful. Yeah, thank you. It's just nice.
No
I think
worries
it's
at all.
the way my brain works is like visually.
Of course, yeah.
So
can I just ask a quick question off the back of
course.
I think it was what Jake asked actually. If you wanted to support multiple charities as a supporter through the lottery, could you do that, and how would that work?
You can do that.
I'm not on.
Yes, so you can do that. So it would work in terms of it would be two separate things. So rather than doing like, oh, one ticket for this charity, one ticket for that charity in one sort of bulk, it would be two separate things. So you'd have to go separately to the different charities pages, but you could still set up a direct debit for both. So you might want to do £1 a week for one and £2 a week for another, for example. But yeah, you can do that.
Great, thank you.
No worries.
Are there any other questions? Oh, there's a hand up. Andrew has his hand up. You're on mute, Andrew.
I took the hand down, but didn't do the unmuting. Yeah, I'm just thinking of other community groups in Wymondham that are trying to raise money as well, and would be really interested in the Giving Lottery. What's best to do? Is it to kind of just simply tell them about it and here's the contact details, or better for you to speak to them directly so that they can ask any other questions? Because yeah, what's the best way to share the news about this?
I'm more than happy to talk to them. So you can always just send me their details or get in contact with me. That's fine. Or alternatively, you can just send them to the website, and everything is on the website.
Yeah.
And that's where the application form is as well. So they're more than welcome to just have a read, see what they think. And then my details are on the website. So if they do have any questions, they've got like a few different buttons on the website. There's one that says email us, which comes straight to me. There's a call us thing that again comes straight to me. Or there's also request more information and things like that, so they can have a look, see what option fits them best, click one of the buttons, and I will either be in touch or they'll come straight through to me.
Wonderful. And then the other thing I've just now thought of, I didn't see it properly on the pages that you were showing. So it's hopefully going to increase the engagement with other people. How do we make sure we maximize that? So is there possible on those links where it says about the Giving Lottery to then say, if you want to sign up with us and hear about more things that we do or that kind of thing, can we add another link onto there so that they do that? Or what's kind of best?
I mean,
because I'm guessing
yeah,
you can't share, I'm guessing because of GDPR, you can't share their details when they're doing their payment of the ticket. So how do we make the most of that situation?
So do you mean in terms of like advertising it, and if you have winners?
Not so much advertising. So once they've kind of got onto the landing page because they do want to have a chance to win, how can we then also, whilst they're doing that, get them to sign up, get their contact details, that we can then engage with them and other ways rather than it only be
Ah, I see. Okay.
that way.
Well,
Do you
once
understand
you,
that way?
I think so, yeah. So once someone does sign up as a support, like to play the lottery, you do have their contact details. So
Okay.
they do have to enter them because we have to let them know if they've won. So you do get to see who your supporters are. It just depends on, so they do have an option to put like just their last name, so like Mrs. Robinson or
Yeah.
something like that. And so you may not get the full details, but most people do put either their name or their email address or some form of to
So we
contact
will
them.
get access
So
to the
you do,
contact email
yes. So
to be
you
able to
have
follow up.
yeah, so you can download an Excel spreadsheet and you can actually
Yeah.
see who you've got. And then also once you go on your landing page, it will tell you how many supporters you've got, who they are, and then you can also look at a graph which says sort of what you're on track to make with how many supporters you've got. So it sort of figures it all out automatically. So you at least then know what you're on track to make as well.
Thank you.
Great.
No worries.
Some really great questions.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have online sessions where you ask it for Q&A and there's not so much conversation. So thank you, everybody. And thank you, Abigail, for answering them all in such
worries.
detail as well. So I will just do a final, are there any other questions? We will get the presentation from Abigail and send that out to you guys. So you'll have that as well. And this recording will go onto our YouTube channel and we'll pop it onto our Padlets as well, so people can access it. If you know somebody who would have really benefited from being at this today, you can point them in that direction. So yeah, are there any more questions? I can see a couple of people are typing. That might well be thanks, or it might be another question. So we'll wait just to see whether they come in. Oh, Jake is saying, thanks so much for this, Abigail, and thanks to Claire and Tasha for arranging this. You are very welcome, Jake. Thank you for coming along and for your input.
Thank you.
And Louise is saying, thank you, very interesting.
Thank you
And
very much.
somebody else is typing. This is a bit like when you're on your phone and you can see the three dots of somebody replying, isn't it? And you're eagerly awaiting to see whether the reply comes through or it disappears away. I think there's been lots of information there and certainly lots for people to think about as well. Yes, Cheryl's saying thank you. It's been very helpful. So I won't keep waffling on and keep people from their lunches anymore. Oh, one more hand up, I see.
Yeah, that was me. Quickly, I just thought,
go for it.
How quickly does it take to set up? So from the start of like going on the website, filling in the details this is for the giving lottery one. How quickly can it be?
Pretty quick. The average turnaround is 24 hours. So from sign up to, the actual form takes like 5-10 minutes maybe. And then once you've put your bank details in so that we can actually pay you, then it's pretty quick. You put your bank details in, you put your details in so that once somebody clicks on your page, they have those details there, they can read what you do. The only thing I would say is us as a charity, we don't work on Fridays. So if you submitted an application on a Thursday afternoon or evening, it would not be approved until the Monday. So that's something to consider. But if you do it Monday to sort of early Thursday, then it's 24 hours and you're done, you're ready to start selling tickets. I would say latest is 48 hours, so as long as it's not a late Thursday.
Yeah. What a great place to work a 4-day week.
I know, I could never go back to 5 days now.
Although I will say that Abigail very diligently did come along to an online meeting on a Friday with myself
I did.
and a colleague and your CEO
you,
as well. So I will fly the flag for, and weren't you just
you.
about to go off on holiday as well?
I
so
was
you were committed
that
to
afternoon.
the cause. So my colleague Tasha has just popped into the chat. We've got some events coming up in the future, in particular. We've got an information session later this month on the 27th of November with Laura, our volunteer platform manager, about making the most of Get Involved Norfolk. So that is, she's just popped the link in. I was then going to say that does come out on our newsletter fortnightly and is also on our Padlets, but you can see the link is there for the YouTube channel for recordings as well. Just remains for me to say thank you to Abigail. Thank you to all of you for coming along, and hopefully we shall see some more